Good evening, everybody. I just want to start tonight's show, actually, before I bring in Kieran and Stuart, by just letting everybody know that it's been a year since Caroline's passing. Those who have watched the Rabble for a long, long time will remember Caroline was always in the comments. I got to know her quite a bit as well. Sadly, a year ago today, she passed away with the illness that she was bravely fighting. So everybody here at the Rabble, I'm sure every other Rangers podcast, because she was tuned into all of them, will be sending their deepest thoughts to her family on obviously the 1 year anniversary of her sad passing, and just to let her family know if they're watching or whoever, then she's not forgot. She's definitely not forgot about it. So I just wanted to start off by saying that. I will bring in Kieran and Stuart. Kieran, how are you on this? Is it cold? I don't think it's cold.
Well, through here it is. It's absolutely freezing and the wind's been horrendous. Apart from that, all right, just keeping busy, DJing a lot over Christmas period, the whole of December really, another Hogmanay one tomorrow. So, just try to keep busy and try to keep up with Rangers as much as possible.
I'm going to try my best to completely avoid Rangers tonight.
Sounds good.
I don't know. There's plenty of other teams with the name Rangers in them. We'll just pick one of them and talk about them. Stuart, my friend, how are you? And you won't be disappearing through any walls tonight, I see.
No, this backbone here collapses. I'll be fine. I was trying to find another one there, but they weren't looking good. So
no, you need a green screen.
Aye. So yeah, but I'm all good. Scun up for yesterday, but it is how it is at the moment. But I'm sure if we have to, we'll dive into that. Yeah, but right, I'll pay me your words for Caroline. I remember always see the name as you said there. You know, other pods and everything else. So it was a sad time. Any time is a sad time, but obviously this time of year, I don't believe it gets remembered a little bit more, doesn't it? When there's an empty seat there at Christmas. Yeah. So for Caroline's family, yep, everybody's thinking about her.
And I had the pleasure of getting to know Caroline a good bit, and she used to send you messages asking how things were and is there anything she could do to help. And she was fighting a really terrible illness, and she was just a wonderful person, an absolutely wonderful person. Stuart, I'll start with you, buddy. In fact, no, I won't. I'll start with Kieran because I've not spoke to Kieran for ages. Right? See the power I've got. See that's pure, unadulterated power right there. Kieran, was the Motherwell game a surprise to you? Because do you know what? See, with 5 minutes into it, mate, it wasn't a surprise to me.
See, as soon as I seen that lineup, I thought Clement took a bang at the head. I think he was maybe still drunk for Christmas when he named that lineup. The minute I seen that, minute the boys seen it in the group chat, we were all the same. We knew that it was just not going to be a great day. And within 5 minutes, you could see it wasn't going to be a great day. The ball that Ridvan put in for Dessers, I mean, I thought he was going to score it or at least make a decent bit of contact. I could quite clearly see that it wasn't going to be our day the minute that lineup came out. I think everyone in the comments probably be the same. The minute you see that, you see Dowell, who barely has kicked his own arse this season. You've got Cortez, I think, had maybe only played about an hour maximum with the B team in his recovery. Rabbi Matondo would have been as well as sitting in the house with me watching it. It just wasn't ideal.
You could at least let me finish my puff before you finish talking. Kieran, that's
the
deal.
Give me a time limit.
when I put use full screen, it means I'm either having a drink of my juice or I'm having a puff of my smoky pen. And I will say, by the way, I'm wearing these, like, my missus got me them. They're like Nike. They're like trackies, right? But they're dead thin. And a bit of my juice spilt and it's went right through my trousers, man. It's soaking.
The audio listeners, they didn't care that you're actually just sitting there in your pants with a t-shirt over you.
Do you know what? See, just prove it. Oh, I can't prove it. Oh, damn it. I can't prove it. No, I'm not. You just don't get this kind of comedy anywhere else. Stuart, mate, give me your assessment of the game. of how you're feeling, and could you please also tell me and explain to me, and this might sound harsh to some people, I don't know, Stuart, why is Philippe Clement still our manager?
Start from the beginning then, will we? M Gunner there just said to me, why am I scunnered? We've had this for a year. I'll go even further. We've had this since 2016. And apart from one season, we've been scunnered because we have been given false hopes, false dawns, false promises. M Gunner, that's why I'm scunnered. But apart from that, what was your second question, buddy? Oh, the assessment of the game. The assessment of the game, yeah. Again, like St Mirren, first half was non-existent. We turned up again in the second half because the actual team that should have started came on the second half, or individuals. We got the normal Rangers scenario. Wait till we're a couple of goals down before we start performing. We just can't keep taking Scottish football for granted. We're not that good. Years gone by, we could, but we're not that good now. We're just, as I mentioned, after the Cement again, we're average. Nobody's scared of us. And your final question is, why is he still the manager? Probably a couple of reasons. A, no money. B, we're probably hoping he's going to walk, so we don't need to give him compensation. And by that team selection, when I looked at it yesterday, I thought, this guy's trying to get a sack. And then the last part is, we always have to have a look at it and say, who would take it? I know we're still a big catch for somebody, but the promises, what they may get, false promises, I'll come in, you'll get this amount of money, as I'm sure Clement got. We'll come in, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, and then nothing happened. I'm not saying that he's no spent money or Coppy's no spent money, but I think he's got a lot to answer as well. Mr. Coppy's got a lot to answer for. Clement's got a lot to answer for. The board's got a lot to answer for. The players have got a lot to answer for. We now see, we're looking at the two new bosses, the CEO and the chairman, what they're going to do. And I did say previously, Martin, that where we are, well, come January the 5th at 5 o'clock, of what kind of funds we'll get to spend in January. And who's going to get to spend them? Again, we say that.
Can I ask you, Stuart, right? And Kieran, feel free to jump in on this as well, right? I keep hearing this. I think it's a nonsense argument that we can't afford to get rid of Clement. I think personally that's a nonsense argument, right? But would you rather, Stuart, get rid of Clement and bring in a manager who's not at the same reputation, if you like, as Clement, and tell him you've got these players to work with and we can maybe give you one or two in January, but we can't give you much because we've had to pay off Clement? Or the money that was going to pay off Clement and maybe that extra couple of million, give it to Clement in January and get him to bring in more players? What seems the more logical option right now?
The reason I'm saying that is I would not trust him with my bus fare into town. Not that I take public transport, but what I mean.
People are always bringing up buses. Does man not?
Sure, I know. Okay, then I'll rephrase that. I wouldn't trust him with any kind of money just by looking at his past stuff, what he's done. So if we get rid of him, and like you, I'm not believing the point that can we afford them? Can we not afford them? Because it's not as if we say to him on 5:15, January the 2nd, right, Phil, there's your jotters, and by the way, we'll have £7 million transferred into your bank tomorrow morning. It doesn't work like that, does it? No, we sort of like give him a monthly wage until such times when he gets a job, and then there's a percentage of what it should have been, type thing. So say for talking sake, it's £4 million. I don't know, and because Beale got a job within a month, didn't he? He left us.
It was quick. Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah, so I don't believe we gave him a full £4 million. No, we gave him probably a month's wages and probably 20% of £4 million.
There would have been an agreement in place if he found another job, how much he was going to get and stuff.
What's that? £700,000. Same with probably jail. if we don't have £800,000, for example, to give PC to tell him to say, thanks very much, see you later, then we are in trouble. I've rambled, sorry.
No. You're quite right. Yeah, and Kieran, if you want to jump in on that, Kieran, go for it, mate. But I find the argument that we cannot afford to let go a manager baffling.
I think that we're at the point, we have been for a while, where we are disliking everything he says, no believing a single word he says. It's the players that I'm wondering how they're feeling when you speak to him, because I would happily get rid of him now, bring somebody else in, and like you said, say there's a bit of money there to bring in a couple. If you can get rid of a couple as well, that'd be great. But pick the core squad you want to kind of work with just now and try and base it around them until maybe the summer or whatever. I don't trust Clement at all. I think he's absolutely deluded now. I thought he was maybe going to that path a while ago, but I think he is. I reckon that you could sack Clement tonight and he would turn up at work tomorrow. I think he's just deluded. If he physically believes in what he's saying, he is absolutely not the right man, regardless of results or not. If he is believing what he is saying to the media, that we control a lot of possession in the game and we looked a better team in some aspects when we've been beaten, it doesn't make sense. Like Stuart says there, I wouldn't trust him with anything either. I wouldn't give him a quid to spend, because I just feel like the way that he's done it, there's been a couple of players that have come in where you thought, right, okay, he's maybe got a bit of improvement. But Clement, for me, he looks like a mix between Murray and Kixina. I can't even say the name. I choose not to pronounce it right. They were bad years. And I feel like it's them two with a mask on with Clement at the moment. When Clement first came in, I was singing his praises. I thought, we've got somebody here.
He does have a track record. He has a track record.
The media touched on about the magic wand, etc., and he was denying it, going, "Oh, I'm just doing what I can," and everything like that. Now reality's caught up with him, and he is not good enough at all. But it doesn't help that our board could not care less if we come second. They don't think second's not acceptable. As long as money comes in, that's all they care about. And it just seems that there's no one there ready to take charge to say this isn't good enough, this isn't Rangers. But it'll probably get clipped up and end up on one of their podcasts. But I really
that's how you get famous, Kieran. That's how you get famous.
So a big shout out to them that's watching. I just feel that Clement at the moment, he has backed himself into a corner. He's got nowhere to go. And the board and the chairman and the CEO cannot keep him in. The point gap at the moment is only going to get worse. And managers previously have been sacked for less. So why, if we gave him a contract extension when we didn't claim what he could actually do with the squad, it's just baffling. We've put ourselves in this own position. But to answer your question, I would have him sacked.
I'm not saying that these should be our next managers, Stuart, right? I don't particularly like the whole who should be the next manager chat, because I'm not sitting here pretending that I'm some absolute football whiz and know everything. I don't. I know very little. I know when a manager's not doing well at my team. That's about it, right? Would Stephen Robinson, would Derek McInnes, would Stuart Kettlewell do a worse job at Rangers right now than what Clement's doing, Stuart?
I think as a club and as a fan base, we've got to aim higher than that. But I'd like to see a British person come in. I don't really care if that's Scottish or English or non-Irish or Welsh. I don't really care, but this Belgium, Dutch, Spanish, Portuguese doesn't work, because they'll go to their wee countries and get their players to come in. And it's Scottish football.
There's like 40 million people in Spain, so I don't think that's a wee country.
Right. So 40 million people who don't play football, right?
I just wanted to show off my excellent knowledge. That was
well, right. Well, here's a part for you. Of their 40 million, right? we'd probably go and sign 2 centre-backs who can't play football.
Yeah.
That's our luck. Or they're injury prone. That's our luck. But yeah, I think we need to aim higher than a McInnes or a Kettlewell or something.
No, we do. But I was just thinking, would they do a better job at Rangers right now in the league than what Clement's doing with a group of players that we've got?
As I said on Thursday, you're always going to get the purple patch, aren't you? You're always going to get that new manager and let's perform, and that will last, maybe through to April time, whatever. Then the new season comes and the guy is there again, and then we're having this same conversation this time next year. Does the new manager get sacked again? It's round.
Only if he's 14 points behind before New Year and dropped 18 points in the league before New Year, then aye. But if a manager comes in, Stuart, right, and the Old Firm games are tight or whatever, and they do well in the league, and we lose out in this first season by, I don't know, let's say 5 points, right? But he gets a victory over Celtic, and we can see the style of football he wants to play. I guarantee you there will be 1 or 2, but not many Rangers fans will be on podcasts or standing and sitting in Ibrox shouting, get out, get sacked. That's why we want Clement gone, because there's no style of play. The players don't really seem to care. The results are dreadful. His post-match interviews are horrendous. Everything about Clement, Coppin, the board, the players stinks right now. And it absolutely stinks. But who's the one that always gets the sack? Who's the only one? Well, I mean, you could probably sack Coppin, right? But evidently, who's the one that always gets the sack? It's the manager.
But here's one here for you. Again, you mentioned there 14 points behind. We've only lost 3 points to Celtic.
Because we've only played them once.
Yeah, so that shows you what a bad state we're in. We've lost 11 points to absolute dross. You know what I mean? So does that make us dross? But I agree with Andy. It's a good shout on your boy Graham Potter. Now the reason why I'm saying to myself Potter as well, like when Rodgers first went to that mob first time round after getting losing his job at Liverpool, he not so much had something to prove, but he needed something that was going to make him shine. And where was that to come? Up the road with a one club and one league. He was always going to do good up here. And I'm thinking then, if the likes of Potter comes up, he might think the same. If I do a great job here, something in England is going to open up for me.
Graham Potter's not touching Rangers.
No, I'm just saying. You asked for a name, so
I get it.
Yeah. Plus, he's unemployed in a nice way, right? He's got loads of money after probably getting paid off at Chelsea. Why not?
Well, because he knows that if he comes,
why not approach him then?
Yeah.
Why not approach him? Why not approach him then?
I would be happy. I'd be happy if Rangers did, Kieran, but I can guarantee you Rangers approach him and he goes, absolutely no chance because you can't give me any guarantees.
I feel at the moment Rangers are a bit like a poison chalice. I mean, the squad we have isn't great. The depth we have isn't great. We've not really looked after the youngsters, so they're sitting about doing nothing. I mean, look how many futures we've probably, wouldn't say put in jeopardy, but put a bit of a standstill to. Bailey Rice can't get a sniff. He's not going to do nothing just playing in the B team. You've got Leon King. You can't tell me Leon King is any worse than the imposter of a half-time draw winner, Robin Proper. Like, it's just baffling. But we don't utilise the youth, and when we do, we throw them in at the deep end. And when they do, it's not even when they're not able to play, but when they seem to have this spell where they lose confidence, they just get binned, put back into the reserves or sitting on the bench. It's what I don't understand is anyone that comes in right now, regardless new manager bounce or not, is our team good enough to come back with a new manager bounce? Butland looks like he cannot be bothered. He looks like one mistake in a game spooks him completely. You've got Tav that has maybe 1 in 7 good games. He needs to go. I mean, it's just a joke. You've got Sterling, we were told collectively, Sterling is not fit enough to play consecutive games. That's why Tav was getting a run out so many times. Yet the last couple of games, Sterling's played every minute in a position that's not his. So when he makes a mistake, yeah, he's going to. He is not that type of player. You've then got Robin Proper, as I said before, looks like he has won the half-time draw to play. You've got Yefty, I still can't pronounce his name right. It's either Hefty, Yefty, or Jefty, one of the two. One of the three, sorry. That's a belter, that one. So you've then got this. You've got him he's still young, he's still learning the trade. Of course, he's going to make big mistakes. We've got Raskin, who seems to be the shining light of the team now, who couldn't get a sniff under Clement for some whatever reason. You've got Diamondi that's been preferred, who chooses when he shows up, like Barami. He chooses when he shows up when the eyes are on him. Like you're at like Celtic, that's when you see the best Barami. He probably can't be bothered playing Kelly, Ross County, etc.
That's where you need a strong manager, though.
Yes, exactly. You've then got, if you look at it, I don't think McCausland is Rangers class. I don't. And I think that keeping him here would just hamper his career, because I think he would be better going somewhere a bit lower level. I think that...
But he would have done more than Cortez, and that's not me having a dig at Cortez. I'm not having a dig at him. He's not fit. He's not fit. Yeah. He's not match fit.
And we've gambled that money on him already. Danilo looks like
McCausland, to be fair, Kieran, but he's more match fit than Cortez.
You've then got Kieran Dowell, who must have a picture of Clement in the bath. He has to, because there's no other reason that he should be playing. And I don't want to go off topic on this now, but I want to touch on the sports science that we seem to be hearing about all the time. So Cherny and Igaman couldn't play 60 minutes, right? They couldn't play 60 minutes, apparently. But with the added on time, they played 60 minutes. Did they look like they were bowling? No. Did they make the most positive impact? Yes. Why is Clement not starting with his strongest team, even if we're so many points behind? Every game for Rangers a must-win. You go out there with your strongest team regardless. And the fact is, we've had imposters, Dessers, right? I've defended Dessers. I've criticised him. Dessers needs to go in January, right? End of. He needs to go. He's not good enough. He's short of confidence, and he's already basically checked out, right? In my opinion. Kelly, would giving Liam Kelly a run of games be a bad thing? Can't be any worse than the form Butland's in at the moment. Our centre-back position is kind of a bit of a hard one. Like I said, I would take Proper out there and look to try and get some money back on him. I think that for somebody that was a former captain of a team, he looks like he's forgotten how to play football. He then, every time somebody goes near him, he just drops to the ground. At least Goldson would try and put a foot in and be that physical player. Proper just gets scared. He just seems to have lost all his confidence. Balogun, if I had three wishes, the three wishes would be to turn back time for Balogun, because he is our best defender by far. Suter looks like he's coming into it again. What happens? Injured. It's just an absolute joke just now. And as I said, touching there, Clement's starting a weaker team. Aye, it's Motherwell, but Motherwell hurt us last season. What chance have we got playing the absolute duds against them? It's just pathetic in my opinion.
Do you know what that said to me when I seen that starting lineup? And I don't know if this is true or not, this is just my opinion. Stuart, that said to me, that starting lineup, that he knows the league's gone. And what he's done is he's went, right, I'm going to play a really rotated squad against Motherwell, because if we scrape a draw or scrape a win or we get beat, whatever, I need to beat Celtic. I need to have my starting 11 out against Celtic fully fit. That's what that said to me. And if that is the case, that just goes to prove, Stuart, that the job's too big for him.
Yesterday it looked as if when we went 2 each, he was happy with 2 each. He felt as if we were 2-0 down and then we drew 2 each, so it's better than getting beat 2-0. Or coming Thursday, I don't know what evidence he's got or what he sees that we can get a result in the 2nd of January. I mean, we can. It's highly unlikely, but if you're resting players like away at Fir Park when you've just been beat off St Mirren, Stuart, you're not a manager for Rangers. No, absolutely not. We don't know the manager, but B, he obviously doesn't realise that we don't have the squad to do this rotation, you know. And I hate saying it, Thursday, probably Celtic's coming for a jolly. I remember one time under, I think it was Alec McLeish, I think we finished third in the league, Hearts finished second, and the last game of the season was against Hearts, and the Hearts boys turned up in the wee corner, and they were reading papers. They just pulled the papers out and went, don't really care what the score is today because nothing really matters. We've finished second in the league. No, and I'm only glad come Thursday that there are no away fans in the stadium, because if we should implode again and they score very quickly and score again, that stadium could be toxic. And there's no hiding for the players after that, because it's them. It's 11 v 52,000. And yeah, it could be a horrible, horrible place come Thursday. Hope they prove me wrong, and we batter them and we win 3-1. That'd be absolutely amazing.
Stuart, that's a 52,000 show up, by the way.
I think all firm games they will, mate. They will.
I don't know.
They may not be there come, I don't know, half an hour to go. If it's 2-3-0, they'll just go, stuff this, I'm away. We noticed it in one game at Ibrox where, was it Dundee at Ibrox, where about 10,000 didn't come back for the second half.
Mm-hmm.
The Loudoun must have done some good business that day, But yeah, it's one of them when I think that Thursday could go. It's an old firm game, so it could go any way what you want it that you think it could go. But I just don't see enough evidence anywhere that we could lay a finger on them. That lot is at their best when they're not under any pressure. So to come to us on Thursday on a jolly, and if they score first, especially if it's, and it probably does look like it, Sterling and proper against Kuhn, Maeda, Hattie, Kyogo. I was going Congo there. Kyogo.
That's a country, Stuart.
Been there, mate. Been there, right?
Glad you put Trey at the end of that.
Could be a long, long afternoon.
By the way, listen, Brendan Rodgers could turn up on Thursday with a completely rotated team. And I mean, Carter Vickers, he said his injury problems this season. Is he thinking to himself, will I risk him? I don't need to. I'll go with a completely rotated defence. He might even start Ida rather than Kyogo, even though Kyogo basically always scores against Rangers. He might think, I'll leave Kuhn on it. He's got the luxury of doing it. He could turn up with the Celtic B team and get annihilated, and it still wouldn't make any difference.
Or he plays the Celtic B team and beat us. How's that make us look? We can't rotate. We can't rotate with two players. But I agree. What I think it was Blue Nose, something or other. Sorry, he's away. Even if we win on Thursday, he still gets a sack.
Yes.
Because it's just papering over cracks, isn't it?
But if he's not had the sack by now, he won't get the sack.
Oh, yeah. But the pressure's back on him again and again until then. Yeah.
What I will ask you two is before I forget, right? Patrick Stewart's now come in as CEO, Kieran, right? And we're led to believe that he's the man making the decisions at the football club, right? So the fact that Clement's still there means one of two things to me. Just again, I will keep clarifying it. Just my opinion. Either Patrick Stewart doesn't have full say when it comes to sacking managers and appointing managers, or he's a dreadful CEO already.
So, what I said in the super chat yesterday when I jumped on yours yesterday, when I said that he was very quick at coming out with the statements, but when it really matters, is he going to show why he's making the big bucks and why he should be the one to be the head of our club? At the moment, no. And the only reasons I can think is the agreement was done, his hands are tied, it's going to leave us in a stupidly financial position, right? That's only my opinion. It could well be that, or he just doesn't have the balls to do it. He's been at the last two games where it's panned to him when the crowd are booing. The players yesterday going up to, not yesterday, sorry, the players going up to the fans after Motherwell, and they're getting told to chase themselves. I mean, he can sincerely see that this thing is brewing, and it is going to become more and more toxic, and it's just only going to get more toxic. It's not even at the point yet where it's considered really toxic. That is yet to come, and it's just seeming that it's only going to get worse. He just needs to either come out with a statement and say why it can't be done just now, even something to suggest that there's something in the background. Radio silence is only going to make it worse.
This is dead depressing, that. Do you know what? It's been like 3 years of this, and it's just brutal. And Stuart, just on Patrick Stewart. Now, if you're a CEO and you're going into a football club, right, or you're going into a company, see, you're doing an interview, right? You ask your questions, but you also do your research. There's no way Patrick Stewart came into Rangers and didn't know the full situation of what was going on, right? So if you're a top-notch CEO, and he's been at Man U and all that, which I know for the last kind of 10 years doesn't really mean much, right? But he's been at Man U and all that. Surely to God, his first question would be, have I got full control over the manager?
Want me to answer that?
Yeah.
Right. No one knows what Patrick Stewart said when he walked through the doors and walked up the marble staircase. That's not going to get filtered down to us, the fans. You know, he could have went into the room and, you know, threw PCs off the table and, you know, threw all sorts of stuff everywhere, dragged everybody into the trophy room and went, that's what a football club does. We don't know. He might be saying, have I got full control? And somebody says, of course you have, boss. Right? Blah, blah, blah. He's not going to come out and tell us, as fans, exactly the conversations. So, again, if he's asked the questions with Sky or Sports Scene or whoever is asking the questions, he's going to give...
Barbage.
Him, STV. I still remember him, and I've been away from Scotland for years.
Oh, he's a murder.
He's going to give that political correctness answer, isn't he? Then after that, by all means, he might go back up the stair, up the stair and say to everybody, there you go, I have made a complete fool of myself in national TV. You better fix this, or I'm fixing it.
Well, I'm sorry. If I'm a CEO and I'm going into Rangers and I've seen what's happened, and it's not just because I'm a supporter. I'm saying to the board, well, he's not got a lot of rope left, by the way. And if these results continue, he's going to have to go. And if the board turn around and say to me, well, listen, we can't do that. Well, I'm not the man for the job then. We'll go and get somebody else. It's worried me already, Stuart, that it's now the 30th of December and Patrick Stewart, who is the CEO of the football club, has not sacked the manager.
But he's got, in my understanding, although the CEO wants to potentially sack the manager, he's got to get the backing of the board. Well, this is the same board that gave this guy an extension. So why are they going to say to a new CEO, you know, Pat, you're right, we'll go for it. Grab that bottle of wine there and we'll sack him in the morning.
If you weren't a Rangers fan, Stuart, Kieran, jump in after us, right? Because I'm just going to keep battering the same question to Stuart until I get the right answer. If you weren't a Rangers fan, Stuart, right, but you were a successful CEO and you went for the interview with Rangers and everything was the same that was going on, would you take the job if you were told, by the way, the manager's staying regardless of what happens?
Why do you probably think X amount of individuals knocked the job back? St Mirren knocked it back and somebody else knocked it back. It's St Mirren and somebody else. So that's probably your answer. They probably looked at it and they potentially may have asked that question and they never got the answer we're looking for. They went, right, give it to somebody else. Or they may have thought the Rangers job was too big for them and stayed where they were. You know, so who knows? But yeah, I don't think his fan base will never going to get that kind of questions. Even if you went to the AGM, you're not going to get that answer. But he'll do the sending letters, etc. away for VAR and all that stuff. And it's that all good saying, isn't it? It came out in the washing one day, won't it?
Yeah.
Whatever that's going to be. But can I come back a little bit to Kieran about 25 minutes ago? Sorry, Kieran.
What happened 25 minutes ago?
Exactly. See, when they mentioned about, well, he's away. when he mentioned there about Sterling and Proper, I think reading all this stuff on the various groups, that Sterling's getting away easy here, right? That for a big boy who's got neck muscles bigger than a lot of folks' thighs, and that's the furthest he could header the ball for the second goal. Come on, No, let's get a grip. No, it was even easier then to turn his head and knock it out for a corner. I remember when it happened with a Rabble, I think at Ibrox, Celtic got a corner where instead of Rabble on the front post, instead of heading it back out to the corner, he tries to do some kind of I'll just knock it down there, straight to Celtic player, bang, goal. So I think, yes, we can all agree what is Sterling's best position, blah, 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 blah. However, it doesn't take you to be an outstanding centre-half to get your head on a ball and clear it.
No, I totally understand that. I just mean that he was kind of the best in a bad bunch, if you get what I mean.
You listen to that, mate.
So for me, the St Mirren game, and I can get shot down for this because I got shot down for it in the group chat, I thought he was almost man of the match until that happened. He was sliding into everything, winning all the challenges. He looked strong, he looked powerful, he looked quick. I thought he was absolutely brilliant against St Mirren, and then he does something stupid. And of course, you're going to remember what he did stupid over what he done well. Against Motherwell, wasn't great at all.
It's not just doing something stupid. It's basics. When I was a young boy, I used to throw the ball against the garage and head it back to it. And I used to get further and further away and do it stronger and stronger. That's not doing something wrong. It's just basics. But again, as the guy says there, no job in Sterling while he's playing me proper. Again, his clearance going to the first goal. Why header it against the guy? Try and header it above him.
What I can't understand is how players that are getting paid so much per week can't play to the whistle. And it's not just them, it's players we've had in the past. Goldson was bad for it. Sticks the hand up, stops. Balogun's done it a few times. Suter, again. Why can't we just play to the whistle? Yes, it's hit his hand. Then just intercept it, clear it, put it for a corner, take him down, do something. Then you just stand there and let him run past you. Wait until that phase of play finishes and then moan to the ref about it.
Well, here's one there for that one, Keir. Motherwell's offside goal. Yeah. We agree it was offside, right? But nobody knew it was offside because you know the story. The flag doesn't go up and the whistle doesn't go until that part plays. When the ball came off the bar, you watch our captain
stand there.
He turned away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
It was offside or the whistle went or whatever until the ball hit the back of the net, and then obviously we got the result. But yeah, just when you were talking there about playing to the whistle, it's not the first time that Tav's done that.
Let's actually talk about a couple of the incidents in the game, because I do want to have a wee quick chat about the Celtic game as well. Kieran, the Lennon Miller, that's right, Martin's mentioning Lennon Miller. The Lennon Miller tackle. Apparently, I think I seen it the day, I might be wrong, right? And you will maybe tell me if I am. It was deemed by a review panel to be the correct decision. Or something along those lines. For me, Kieran, and everybody knows my thoughts on Lennon Miller, so this is not bias, believe me. For me, Kieran, he comes over the ball with his studs like that and into the player's ankle. I don't understand how that's... I mean, in the moment, I'm looking at it and I'm going, is that a red? Because I just... But then once you've had time to look at it and see a couple of replays, it's a red card.
I absolutely, again, at the start, I thought, is it that bad? Looked at it again, and then really kind of slowed it down, looked at it. Yeah, he kind of catches the ball, right? And that's what
he's over the top of the ball. We were always told to go over the top of the ball was a red card.
Exactly, and it catches Cortez's ankle. You see Cortez's ankle rolls. So the follow through, didn't Sterling get sent off for something like that a while ago? Did he not slip when he went in for the challenge and still was a red card? So I just feel that I'm not going to say, look, they're out to cheat us. I'm not one of them that's going to jump on the bandwagon and say that type of things. But It was definitely a red. Now that I've looked at it back, he goes over the ball, he catches Cortez. It's not even the fact that the referee just kind of looks at it. It's VAR, check it as usual. And it's a case of Miller still stays on the ground. Does he think that says get out of jail free card? Oh, I've injured myself as well.
A lot of players do that, don't they?
Yeah, it's just becoming a joke. The level of refereeing is not consistent at all. And I'm not saying it's between our club and any other club. Loads of clubs get done. In England, no matter where you are, clubs are getting done with VAR. And it's because, for some reason, even though they've got all the tools in front of them to slow it down, to take their time, because, let's face it, they take their time. And when they don't take their time, do they even look at it? So I just feel that at the moment, we need to get some sort of clarity on why they didn't think that was a red card. Because you look at
you'll get that in the Willie Collum video.
Aye, the Willie Collum show.
Yes, the Willie Collum show, exactly. And Stuart, I personally think Motherwell were robbed. But what I will say, right, obviously it's 2-1 and the corner comes in and Tony Watt puts his arm over Butland, right? And Butland's not strong enough. What is Butland, like 6'11", right? He's not strong enough to deal with Tony Watt, right? Now, what I did notice, by the way, and it doesn't go unnoticed, and I think a lot of fans for a club think that this doesn't go unnoticed, there was a real rally on social media to try and use that as, oh, look at the referees helping you, to try and deflect from the phantom penalty in the game previous for them. And then, of course, the League Cup penalty. I see what you're doing. It's nonsense. Stop it, right? We're not stupid. However, saying that, this was a subjective decision, Stuart. Not a what's the word? A factual decision. It was a subjective decision. Goalkeepers get them all the time. And I think it's wrong. And I think it's something that needs to be changed. Because for me, just doing that onto somebody, especially a goalkeeper, that's not enough for me for a free kick.
I think going about the Miller one first of all, if you don't mind. I'm surprised when I first seen it. I thought his studs rolled over the ball first of all, then continued. I thought, okay, I'll go for the yellow. But I was very surprised that VAR didn't change it to a red, because, as Kieran correctly said, when you slow it right down that VAR can do, and they stop it, rewind it, stop it, freeze it, it's always going to look worse. So I've no idea why they didn't go, yeah, it's a red. For Butland's own goal, because we're going to call it that, goalkeepers are too much protected. I don't think there was much in it. And then after, I think if the referee gave the goal instead of the free kick, VAR would have gave the goal.
I think so, yeah.
I honestly think that. And I don't think we're not coming back from 3-1 down. I don't think. It's all what if he maybes, obviously, you know. But if you rewind about 30 seconds or so after that instant, and you see Jack Butland walking about the penalty box and shaking his head, he knew he got away with one. So he did.
Yeah,
he actually knew he got away with one. And it's not the first one, is it? I thought he was a wee bit to blame for the first goal.
You could have done a lot better.
Yeah, and as good as Motherwell's second goal was, he still can't dive to that left. You know,
I think Jack Butland needs a wee bit of a bigger conversation, Stuart. And we'll come straight back to Jack Butland, right? But I'll just stick with you, Stuart, on, was it the first goal for Motherwell? It hits off the boy's hand. I'm going to sound like a Motherwell fan here. I'm really not. It's not a club I've got a lot of time for, right? But I would hate to see that be given as a free kick as well, because he doesn't know anything about it. His arms aren't out. I know the rule is that if it hits off his arm and then he runs through and scores, it's a goal. The goal gets chopped off, which I disagree with as well. I completely disagree with that, right? But the fact it goes to another player and then he's played through and then he scores, I've no issue with that. Stuart being given as a goal, none at all.
No, because the reason why I'm saying no is, again, the Motherwell boy jumps up, he does, but his arm's in there somewhere, isn't it? Right, and he's turned his face away. So does he actually know that where his hand is? It's not as if he's put his hand out that way. And then obviously when he breaks forward, then Jack Butland decides to go back, stands in no man's land, and then the boy tucks it under his body. Stirling tries to get back. Some folk are saying it's a Stirling own goal, but it's really not an own goal. But he tried his best to get back. All that would have been preventable. Proper headed it up in the sky type thing, other than straight towards the Motherwell boy. But I suppose the argument is, if that was Dessers, no, I'll rephrase that because he would have missed it anyway. If that was Igamani coming forward and it hit his hand like that and he scored, would VAR intercept and say handball?
Not if it went to another player first. No.
No, but it went another player though, did it?
Did that?
Was it not the guy who hit his hand? Was it not him it scored?
Aye, but it went to another player first and then went back to him. If it hits his hand and he scores directly from it, then it's not a goal.
I must have missed that part then. Sorry, I must have missed that.
I'm sure that's the rule. That if he is in, I think it was more so for in the penalty area, to be honest with you. But if it hits your hand in the penalty area and then you score, the goal's chopped off because it's seen as an immediate advantage. Or I don't know the wording. Right? I'm not very clever, but my whole point on that was I would hate to see the foul on Butland and that first goal being chopped off in football. I think it's just a nonsense, to be fair. Right, we're going to talk Celtic, but just before we do that, Big Dave sent in a super chat, so we're going back to the beginning. He actually did send it in at the beginning, and I should have brought it up. So my apologies, Big Dave, and thank you for the support, my friend. I'm fine with aiming lower if it's a manager who will get players built for the SPL. Get us well drilled, make us feared again, bring dig mentality back. That's a point that I've been making, Stuart. It's not about aiming lower. But if you bring in a manager and you tell the supporters, like, realistically, look at where Celtic are and look at where we are, right? We're bringing in this manager and this is what we're going to try and do with this manager. I don't think the supporters have got an issue with that as long as they can see something happening.
Yeah,
I did say Kieran, but he just blanked me.
No, you didn't. You said Stuart. You said Stuart.
I meant to say Kieran. My apologies, Kieran. I'm watching that back because I definitely said Kieran.
Definitely said Stuart, mate.
How low are you going to go though? Wraith Rovers, Falkirk?
No, they're talking about being a close second.
Not talking about manager wise. How low is that? Not aiming lower if it's a manager who will play players built for SPL?
I thought he meant by that just dealing with like a season of transition. As long as we can actually see something happening.
No, that's the point. He's what Big Dave's making there. I'm fine with aiming lower if it's a manager who will get built for SPL. So Big Dave's talking about, I don't mind if we go to Falkirk and take Falkirk's manager. No, that's why I'm saying, how low are we going?
Well, I mean, I certainly wouldn't be going for like a Rhys McCabe at this point, even though he's been so highly spoke of. But I mean, would you batter your eyes at a year of Stephen Robinson or a Stuart Kettlewell or a Derek McInnes? Or the boy at Aberdeen. I mean, I get the Derek McInnes thing, right, because he knocked his back. The boy at Aberdeen. I don't know. I just want a manager who's going to come in, know the league. Kieran.
How long do we give them though? Sorry, Kieran, I'm jumping in again. Sorry, but
yeah, Stuart. I'm going to Kieran. Right, you'll get your chance. You'll get your chance. Jeez,
okay, right.
Kieran, answer Big Dave's question.
There's
only about another 3 ways I can think to ask it.
So I'm reading it as aiming lower, not doing as great in the league. One manager who will get players built. So basically, like a McInnes, right, who knows the league, been around the league a long time, and he knows how to beat them. He does. He's done it before. He knows how to beat them. I personally would just want a manager that has a direct style of play, and if that's not working, change another style of play. Instead of this, before the game, let's just pick a formation out of the hat and see what happens. Because that's what seems to be happening just now. There's a couple of link up on the pitch, right? There's a couple of players that obviously do have chemistry. But a lot of the time, I mean, our biggest threat is a player that doesn't really speak English. He can't really communicate that much to his other teammates, yet he's the one that seems to be linking the play and being our overall threat. And in terms of management, I would say McInnes till the end of the season in an ideal world.
He's not. McInnes isn't going to take that.
He won't. No, not at all. Not at all. That's what I mean in my own head is what I would have liked to see, because I just feel at the moment that this team must be lost due to the manager. I mean, everything. Like, look at Barami again when he came in, right? He was on a different wavelength than his players. Look at a couple of passes he tried to play at McCausland when he first came in. McCausland nowhere near it. And Bayrami, he's just started doing it. He's just started going into robotic system. He doesn't genuinely have that spark anymore. It doesn't. No one seems to be brought alive by this manager. No one seems to think that we can beat the team in front of us. There's no team that comes to Ibrox that's scared to play us. And when we go there, they're not scared to play us.
Yeah, that's true. And I really want to talk Butland before we talk Celtic. So if people would stop making very good comments, then we can get on with that. I still think we need to give, and this is for Lockeye Review channel member, I still think we need to be giving Clement the benefit of the doubt. Stewart, he has won things elsewhere. We have seen some encouragement this last wee while. If the new one comes in and fails, then what? That final part there, Stuart, if the new one comes in and fails, then what? That should have no relevance on whether you keep a manager or not.
Absolutely doesn't, because we would never change somebody then in it if you thought of that. So it was the point of that he's won things elsewhere. Can't argue with that. A couple of league titles in Belgium with two different teams, but Belgium football has been proven it is different from our league, and he just hasn't. He hasn't adapted to the league yet after a year, and the players that he's brought in has not adapted to it. Completely different style of football. If you support, I don't know, Bruges, and you get beat from, I'm going to say St Mirren, but St Mirren doesn't play in Belgium. But if you play a team in the version of St Mirren and get beat, and then you play a team the version of Motherwell, that kind of stuff, right? Are they supporters having an absolute meltdown before the derby on Thursday? Whoever Bruges' derby is, don't know. And the like, maybe. So I don't know. He may have won elsewhere, but so's a lot of folk won things and maybe came here. Did the Aberdeen boy win something in his country?
England? I don't know.
And they were all shouting and bawling about him. And here's the scary thing: we were 11 points behind them. We clawed that back, and they lost in a 94th minute goal yesterday. If they won yesterday, they were going back to second place. It shows you how much we've sort of pooed our pants in a wee bit, as we always do in important games. And then obviously, man, I don't know who they've got in Thursday. But if should we lose on Thursday and they win, and then we've got Easter Road and they win again, we're about 5 points behind them again, sitting in third place. It's all adding up to more Bruges and like Derby was right. It's all going together of being another absolute nightmare of a season.
Yeah, it really is. Toronto Bear, right? Looked up the rule, man, and it should be chalked off as it's still the same case of play that led to the goal. See, if that's a rule, fair enough. I still don't want to see goals getting chopped off for that handball. I don't even class that as a handball. It's came at him and he's not even seen it, and it's hit his arm, which is right in. That's not a handball for me, I'm sorry. But if it should have been chopped off, it should have been chopped off. But what about a player manager, D-man? The Graham Souness years are gone. So So, yeah. Let's have a quick chat about Butland, Kieran. Very, very quick, because I do want to quickly touch on Celtic. He needs dropped.
Yeah, absolutely. His head's gone. It's a good few times that he's sometimes came up with a Butland moment, right? But how many times have we thought, for the love of God, how's he done that? How's he missed that? Like, right, so there's a goal that's offside, right? Comes in, he leaves it instead of just tipping it over the bar. Is that because he's already scared? He's made a mistake at the corner. And then comes back out, and I think he makes a great save. And then they score, and it's deemed offside, right? But that could have been avoided with him just putting it over the bar at the start there, deal with the corner. The St Mirren game, when he came out and decided to rugby tackle the St Mirren striker, no need. Proper was there, mind you. If Proper was there, I wouldn't have put my chances on Proper winning that. But I mean, to do that, he just looks like he's at a head.
He has. I know his message has just had a wane, right? So you need to factor that in. But these mistakes have been happening since well before she had the wane.
The cup goal against Celtic, the one that
for me, that's where it all started.
Right, the scar tissue. It's our players are so mentally scarred, losing to them, and Butland just cannot shake this off. And he's in his own head. You can see it. The things that he comes to do when he looks like he's coming out and he hesitates and trots back to his line. He is not in the headspace to be a Rangers goalkeeper just now. And Liam Kelly, I think, is the perfect deputy to come in just now. I mean, it's not like we're in a title race, right? So if Butland was maybe just needing to shake it off and we needed him for the really, really important games, what happens if Celtic pull our scants down and absolutely do us on Thursday and it's Butland and goals and he's at fault for all our... nice to see you watching again. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel. The fact that if that happened, right, and he's at fault for all the goals, where does he go after that? Liam Kelly, I think, would be up for the challenge. I think he shows when he is ever called upon that he is a good goalkeeper. We at the moment are just putting Butland through a mental torture, and maybe it is because of the centre back pair and he's got in front of him. And like Anne says there, no way Butland being dropped. Do I think it'll happen? No. But did I think that Kieran Dibble would start against Motherwell? No. I mean, Clement, he could put names in a hat, and Bayrami could be in goals. You never can. It's Clement. I don't think he'll get dropped, but I think he badly needs dropped. But when we do play Manchester United, stick a fiver on for a goal scored directly for a corner, because both teams are horrendous at the moment.
I know. That's the only thing we've got going for us right now, is that Man U seem to be worse than us. Jock Blue, I heard we're selling Robbie Fraser for 200k to Portsmouth. I don't know if that is the fee, but it's rumoured to be in and around that. That's pure profit, guys. Pure profit. 200k. There you go. Sorted. Stuart, you were shaking your head there. If you get anything more to say on Butland, or will we just go straight to Celtic?
Just to say, because I'm not taking this nonsense. He's just had a baby, and what? I'm not wearing that. My last job, I came home for 3.5 days. On the first day I was there, my missus dropped our oldest son. 3 days later, I was on a plane back to my work. The boss when I landed.
I mean, you should really be like staying for a bit longer if she's just dropped him.
My job,
was your missus wearing a pair of goalie gloves and a Rangers?
Was she wearing Jack Butland's goalie gloves when she dropped him?
No, this is a point. No, when I got back to my work, my boss goes, "Oh, Stuart, I know you've had a hard 3 days there with the kids. Take another couple of days off, man. You know what I mean? No, this I'm having a kid. Unless he gets something breastfeeds, don't know. You know what I mean? But I'm sure they can. As long as let's go to Celtic for the last part of this.
Finn Fogel, I was being sarcastic. I was just having a wee. I know we're not really in a jokey mood. I was just trying to add a bit of comedic value into the show. So just quickly then, Stuart, I'll be honest with you, it's a really strange one, because it would not surprise me if we won on Thursday, right? It genuinely would not surprise me. However, it would also not surprise me if we get absolutely thumped. That's just where I am with this Rangers team right now. There's certain teams in Europe that we played really well against. Clement really hasn't done that well against Celtic. Let's be honest. It's a strange game in a way. I mean, of course, I want Rangers to win. Obviously, I want us to win. I want us to beat Celtic closest rivals. But I don't have that same oomph in the week leading up to it.
No. What is this? Attempt number 6 for Mr. Clement come
7.
Thursday? Is it 7? I thought it was 6.
8?
No, it's 9, isn't it?
Is it?
No.
Are we just moving up? Are we just all proving that we can count here?
Okay. League attempts. Let's take away the cup competitions, right? So league attempts. I don't know. But yeah, are we going to? I need to try and get excited for Thursday because my brother's over for North Cyprus, so we need to sit here and pretend we're enjoying the game, and probably by 3:20 we're not enjoying the game because it will go how we're predicting. Yes, of course we could turn up and beat them. You never know, but just the defence worries me. The midfield worries me. We don't bring in enough quality to service our strikers. They just break away and score. That's the kind of thing they do, don't they? They allow us the ball, steal it off us. 3 touches later, it's 1-0. And they've got this habit. What worries me about that lot is they have this thing that, and they proved it. They've done it again in the cup final, didn't they? They scored, and then a couple of minutes later they score again, and that takes all the pressure away from them. But as I said, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope we dig in. I hope we get a result. It's a monkey off our back, but we'll then probably go to Easter Road and blow it a couple of days later.
But Celtic,
Sorry, on you go, Kevin. You go.
Celtic kind of game plan that Bayrami go man mark Callum McGregor. All it needs to be is somebody takes Bayrami off Callum McGregor, and Callum McGregor will run the show again.
Do you mean Raskin?
No, it was Bayrami that marked Callum McGregor.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad.
And all it's going to take is somebody to just go, all right, that's what they're doing. Sound. McGregor will just start moving differently and they'll start controlling the tempo again. That was the only reason that we done so well against them, is because we nullified McGregor. But then somebody mentions it. I don't know if it was Clement that mentioned it in a match presser or something, basically saying that the game plan worked to isolate McGregor. Basically, well, Brendan Rodgers will be like, oh, well, that's what they're doing then, sound. Just go about them how you usually would, but maybe miss a man in the midfield.
They've also got Hattati in the middle of the park, who's an extremely good midfielder. That is it Bernardo they've got.
Yeah.
I've only seen him a few times, and by the way, he's a player.
And they bring an £11 million player off the bench usually.
And that Engel boy.
What do we bring off the bench? Do you know what? Well, I know. I mean, it's just a joke, but as you were saying there about Clement having so many chances to get a win, I mean, we look bewildered playing against them. I guarantee you Redvan won't play that game. Redvan will be scarred for the last time he played them. I mean, it's just a nightmare. I thought Jeffrey played well against Kuhn. I thought he done pretty good. I think that Tav didn't have his worst game against Maeda. I mean, he's due to be ripped apart by him. I just seem the way that we're in just now, it is fitting for us to get beat by St Mirren, draw to Motherwell, and win against Celtic, and then get thumped against Hibs. It's just the Rangers way.
I've got a question, right? I was watching a Football Manager video on YouTube, right? It's a guy that does like 1 season things or 5 season things, right? And he said what you just said right there. A draw to Motherwell, right? Should it not be a draw at Motherwell? But loads of people say that.
No, draw to Motherwell.
A draw to Motherwell doesn't make sense to me.
I mean,
I know this is really off topic, right? But I just, Stuart, you're a wee bit older than me, right? But a draw to Motherwell or a draw at Motherwell?
Must be at.
It's got to be at.
Aye, it's got to be. Because you don't say a draw at Perth, you say a draw at St Johnstone.
Mm-hmm. Or even you would say a draw up at Perth, you know? I don't get this too. But it's not just you, Kieran. I think all the youngsters are like that. I think that's a part for all the youngsters now. I might be splitting hairs, D-man, right? But it's annoying me. And it's been annoying me for a while. I'm not having a go at Kieran. Kieran's a very good friend of mine, nice guy. Just doesn't spoke proper England. It's not his fault. We're going to kind of wrap it up there, Stuart, right? But I'll come to you both on a final point. Kieran, just jump in after Stuart's finish. Kind of touched on it, right? I'm not. It's too early to go into starting lineups and tactics and style of play. Out with obviously it being a rivalry. How much pressure do you think is on Clement and the players for this game? Because every single time we've come on here and went, I mean, that's got to be it now, surely. It's got to be it. He's got to go. He hasn't went.
Because of that exact statement that you've made, there's none. Because come Friday morning, if we get thumped or beat, he's not going anywhere. So there's no pressure on him. But unlucky for our club and the manager, there's no pressure on them either. And that's what they love. They love playing football without any pressure. I'm dreading Thursday, and I was going to ask a question, but I'll let Kieran
ask the question. Ask the question and let Kieran answer it.
All right. My question is, I asked my brother this, and he's sort of like he was going to hang up me on the phone, and that come the end of the season, how many points are we behind them?
If we're any points behind them, it should be a disaster if you're Rangers. Do you know what I mean? It's realistically, probably one of the biggest gaps that we've had, I think.
What was the gap under O'Neill, Kieran? What was the gap under O'Neill? Was it 20 points?
Can't remember off the top of my head.
21, under Dick Advocat, we won the league with 21, 22 points. Then they reversed that the following season and won it with the same. So they were saying it was a turnover of about 40 odd points, but it really doesn't, because last season didn't go in it. So I'm thinking about 20, 25 plus, maybe 25.
I think that'd be the biggest gap that there's been in a long, long time. And I'm not saying that because I'm being pessimistic. I'm saying that because I'm being real. I honestly don't think that we've got it in the tank to start getting results. I wouldn't be surprised if we finished third. And I would never want to say that, but at some point, Aberdeen's going to probably get another couple of points. Are we going to? Are we really going to be able to pull ourselves together against some of these teams? I don't think so. Not if that man's still in charge.
The only reason that we fight, right, and I'd say air quotes when I say that, for second place is for an easier draw in the Europa League. That's the only reason. That's the only thing. Otherwise, it would be, I don't care if we finish second or we finish 10th. That's it. Europe's the only thing that makes me go, right, okay, well, we definitely need to get this second place. And I don't trust this team or this manager, Stuart, to make that an easy process. And it should be, because all due respect to Aberdeen, right, they had a really good run. Don't have the squad, anywhere near the squad to be able to keep up the level of consistency they had. It showed, and it's shown, and it will continue to show throughout the season.
Yeah, totally agree. Ange McDee's saying there, Gerard won the league in March, but he can't recall the points. I think that was around 21 either as well. Sorry, 21 points by the time we won the league.
As much as that? All right.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. But bear in mind, remember, that was behind closed doors, wasn't it? Our players when they're getting booed and what have you. But I think we're going to finish second, because I think we're fortunate enough that teams below us will drop more points than we will through the season. Well, fingers crossed. Yeah, they will. Every team below us will drop more points than we will. So yeah, we'll finish second. And it's just a case of then how many it'll be behind them.
It's sickening to think that if we won every single game, right, from the second till the end of the season, and Celtic dropped 13 points, they would still win on. Well, if we beat them on the second, it would be down to 11 minutes. If they dropped 10 points, I'm not very good at maths. I was just trying to make a wee cheeky point there. I'm terrible at maths. So we'll leave it on that, right? A massive thank you to everybody who has tuned in tonight. If it's your first time here, please consider subscribing. We are rattling towards 13,000 subscribers. I'll get to that, Kieran. Don't you worry. I'll get to that. I like to try and do the outro quick, but so that because you just see the numbers dying of people leaving. So thank you very much. Please do like, share, and subscribe. If you've been a subscriber for a while and you enjoy the content and you're in a position to, then we would really appreciate anybody who can sign up as a member. The links for which are in the description. Also in the description is the Rabble Island store. Loads of clobber for you to get your hands on. There's teddies in there as well. There's toilet bags. There's tote bags. There's everything in there. Check out the link in the description for that. Thank you to Big Dave for the super chat tonight. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. For people listening on Spotify, it's only took me 4 years, but I finally worked out how to get to the comments on Spotify. So if you comment there, then I can get back to you. It only took me 4 years. I figured that out. I still haven't figured out iTunes yet. I probably really should figure that out. But yeah, there we go. So thank you, Kieran. Thank you, Stuart, for joining me. Like I say,
just read there, Martin, that Elizabeth just subscribed. So thanks very much.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
Elizabeth just subscribed. So that's good. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, greatly appreciated. I appreciate everybody who just tunes in and helps support the show. It's phenomenal. Thank you very much. But I will not take up any more of your time, folks. We are live on the members show in 18 minutes for the EPL show, which will be live on Patreon and the YouTube membership page as well. So we will see you. Oh, wait a minute. It's all changed this week, innit? So we won't see you now until Thursday, unless you're a member, in which case we will see you. So go and enjoy the rest of your night, folks, and we shall definitely speak soon.